views and opinions of the host are those of the hosts and not of the companies they are affiliated with. No inside information is known, and if there is, it will not be revealed. Occasional bad language may be used. Hey, we're still here. We're not gone yet. It's another episode. It's episode 6 of the Theme Park Blueprints.
I'm glad you're keeping track because I did not know what episode it was. I was like, yeah, we're somewhere in the 5 to 10 range.
Yeah, it's we're here. As always, I am Ryan from the Theme Park Guides, and joining me on the other side of town, Drew the intern.
Yeah, from the In the Loop podcast.
So we know it's been a while since we've done another episode of this, but we have busy lives. Between jobs and vacations, and you gotta get those last vacations in before the summer's done.
It's actually kind of weird. Most of my vacations are like coming up soon.
Mm-hmm. So hopefully we can get a couple episodes recorded before the your big Germany trip.
Yeah, man, I'm really excited. I'm slowly getting in. My my Oktoberfest shirt came in the other day.
I drank Oktoberfest beer last night, so.
Oh, so you're getting in the mood too.
Oh, of course. It's the best beer time of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So our last episode, which seems like forever ago, where did we go? We went to California's Great America.
And this week, we're going to make America great again.
And go to Six Flags. But first, let's look at some feedback from our last episode. So, it seems to be the same group of guys out there, always giving us the feedback, but some new people as well. So let's go ahead and see what we did. Coaster Cron Adam, he had a couple things to say. He said, Gold Striker is a top 5 Woody. Flight Deck is a great half of an invert. A Hyper would make the park great. He also said, Mass Effect is very well done with a live actor and great effects. Actually impressive for Cedar Fair, better than Plants vs. Zombies. And CGA would be great with sprucing up in a signature steel coaster to match Gold Striker. Y'all nailed this one. Thanks. We actually had some pretty good feedback about that show. And they were like, oh, your bold predictions weren't that bold. The Hipster Quest, Lucas was the one, campaigning for us to do this park. He said, finally, love the bold predictions about CGA. He said, CGA already has a bearing curve, one of 2 in the U.S.
Oops.
Yeah, I know. And when I looked at it, it's literally right where we said we were going to put their little flat ride plaza there. He said, no worries about that, though. He said, CGA could use a small one with how many hotels cost in the area, with how much hotels cost in the area. And that was when you posted the Sapphire Falls photo on the page.
Yeah. Sapphire Falls was pretty.
It looked nice. Online Hyde, he said, don't think your entertainment dining area is an off-the-wall idea. They're quasi-announced it in March. And then there was a link on there, and yeah, they kind of announced they had something, planned for like an entertainment downtown Disney kind of thing. So I didn't know they had done that back in March. I know that it was the original idea a couple of years ago, but that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then Online Hyde and Coaster 101, they went back and forth for a while. They were talking about the park, so it was fun to have a little bit of a conversation going on there. And then Ratty the One said, I'm curious to hear what you guys think could be coming to Canada's Wonderland in the next 5 years. By the way, great show. So, and I believe he's a new listener, so.
That's good. Or at least a new commenter. He might have been listening from the beginning.
A new commenter. Always happy to have new commenters. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into my favorite of the Six Flags parks. Seeing that I grew up in Michigan, it was just down the street. Six Flags Great America.
Is it really like right down the street from Michigan?
Well, I'm from Muskegon, so it's about a 3.5 hour drive.
Or like a 3.5 hour swim.
It'd probably take longer to swim.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was you could either choose. I think it's actually closer than going to Cedar Point, but it's obviously not as good. So, looking back at some history of what they added over the years, in 2012, they added in X-Flight. Have you been on X-Flight?
I have not.
I have not been to the park since, I think, like 2009. So
I was going to say,
it's been a while since I've been there.
I went in 2010, and I don't think, But I would say this park has probably been the one that's changed the most out of all the Six Flags parks since I've been to it.
I could see that. X-Flight was added. It wasn't the first. It was the first announced wing coaster in the United States, because Wild Eagle was the first to open. They had that whole weird war that they were going on there. Then in 2013, they added in Ignite, which was their nighttime show. They did what you love, turning Batman backwards from June to September.
They were the first.
Yeah. And then American Eagle Blue Side went backwards starting at the end of August. I remember going there, and Blue Side was backwards years and years ago. Let's see, 2014, that's when they added Goliath, their RMC standalone coaster. And Raging Cajun closed. I should have added in 2013 is when they closed Iron Wolf. Mm-hmm. I liked Iron Wolf, the first B&M.
I did not like Iron Wolf.
You did not like Iron Wolf? I liked it when the train came into the station, everybody got off, and then they released the seats, and they all shot up really hard. It was pretty fun. I would not want to be standing there when that happened. 2015, they took 3 of their kiddie rides that I guess had been lost or went away, and they returned. And then they made a festival of parks history. Because I'm pretty sure that was
45, wasn't it? Or 40?
I don't know. We just did it with California's Great America. It's going to be the same. So I believe it was, yeah. And then 2016, this year, is when we added in Justice League Battle for Metropolis. So this is going to be the first Six Flags park that already has this that we've done. Which then leads us into 2017.
Yeah. Okay.
So we just kind of got a decently large ride. As far as I know, they have not put out any. There's no hints of kind of what's going in here yet, is there?
No permits, no feelers. Which probably means only one thing.
Nothing. They're getting nothing.
No, I don't think they're getting nothing.
Okay, I'm sitting here looking at the map. To be honest, it's been about 6 years since anything has happened over at their water park. Mm-hmm. So I would like to see a small addition over at their water park. I would like to see a water coaster of some sort.
You know, that seems like a big. You're like, oh, I'd like to see some small water park thing. It's like not, a water coaster.
But that's it. Like that's it. It's not gonna be like a giant slide complex or a slide tower, or like a huge new pool or anything. It's
just a giant water coaster.
Just a water coaster.
That is not a small thing.
It's early.
A small thing would be like a kiddie splash pool, like one of those like pools that you have like the little nets and like the little frog lily pads you go across.
Even smaller, that little squirt gun thing that you can fill up the big squirt.
Yeah,
adding big squirt to the park.
Yes.
So yeah, okay, medium attraction. Let's go. I'm thinking either a water coaster, nothing like not a crazy one. Mm-hmm. Like a water coaster, or add in. Well, they already have Saltwater Sal's beachside bar, so yeah, I'm saying water coaster for my 2017, unless you have another idea.
Well, it's not necessarily an idea. It's just, at what point are they going to get their Larson Looper?
Oh, you're right. They don't have one.
Yeah. So I was thinking this was the year of the Larson Looper, 2017.
Let's just take out the carousel, put it front and center.
Right? celebrate the Olympics, we'll put 5 Larson Loopers in a row.
Yes. To be honest, I think their water park can hold off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I could see a Larson Looper. They could finish up the entire chain here with phase 3 of the Larson Loopers. Where do you want it?
I don't know, because it could pretty much go anywhere, I feel like. I don't think it's going to go where Ragin' Cajun was, because that, I think, is a big enough spot of land for something else.
Yes, and I have an idea for that.
So, I don't know. What about... I have no idea. Where would you put it in there? First of all, what theme is it going to get? If it's going to be like another like Justice League kind of theming, you can kind of put it in between like Demon and the Battle for Metropolis building over there. And it improves that area.
I don't know. You could theme it to like Brainiac or Lex Luthor if you wanted to. That could be something they could do. I'm looking here, like, yeah, they still do have the Condor. That's one of the last remaining ones. In fact, yeah, I like that idea. Let me go over there and take a look at that area here and see what we're playing with. Yeah, I like that. Let's put it over by the Justice League Battle for Metropolis and call it, something simple, like just name it after Lex Luthor.
I was thinking about Brainiac's Brainwash.
Oh, Brainiac's Brainwash. You just did it. Brainiac's Brainwash, which is going to be our looper.
Yeah.
That works. I like that a lot. Simple. They can finish up the chain with all of their Larson roller coasters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I was just thinking, like, they don't have it. I feel like it's Larson Looper time.
Yeah. I can see that. Okay. So now that 2017 is done, we're moving up to 2018.
And now it can be time for your small water park edition of a giant, massive water slide complex.
Let's do the tiny expansion to the water park and put in a water coaster. I think you could actually utilize that service road between Viper and the actual like water park, and you could have it load over by some of the cabanas and actually do some stuff right there. I think that works. Or you can have it kind of going above some stuff, but yeah, you can. I mean, it fits in the area. It's a very popular water park. Every time I've gone there, they've had to close off the entrance because they've hit capacity for that water park, which makes the rest of the park pretty okay because then everyone's in the water park.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's going to be one of those ones that are jet powered or magnetic, or even conveyor belt. Not sure.
I was like, I think Six Flags New England's is conveyor belt.
Because I know the only one I've been on is the one in Kalahari, and that's conveyor belt. So do you object to that? You're thinking 2018 water coaster?
No, don't object to it at all. Other benefit this park has is the water park backs up to their parking lot, so you might see them eat into the parking lot just a little bit.
Easily, yeah. I mean, and the whole section used to be water park. I remember parking right by Viper and, at the end of the night, running to the other end of the parking lot to take a picture with my disposable camera the first time I went there.
Oh.
I know. They didn't have that whole other section across the Six Flags Drive there. That was not parking. I remember when they put that parking in, it was all gravel. So they've been expanding out to that area, towards that neighborhood there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, this episode's going by really fast.
Can you imagine parking all the way in the back of that back corner?
I can, because I think I've done it.
But I think the front middle parking lot was season pass parking when I went, and I parked right up front.
If I recall properly, the last time I was there in 2009, that entire front parking lot was all season pass and preferred parking. And the entire back parking lot there, that was all just regular parking.
Interesting.
So then they made everybody walk across that road that cars were driving by. It was a really dumb setup, but that's what they did. Okay. So 2019.
We're going to build a bridge.
We're going to build a bridge, a pedestrian bridge from over there. No. I'm thinking this is either... I think this is the year that the Raging Cajun spot is being used. And I also foresee a ride removal.
Uh-oh. Six Flags America, listen up here.
Well, this one I don't think is going to work out for them. I'm thinking the removal of the rapids.
Oh.
Because that opens up a rather large chunk. Unless I don't really think they could, in my proposed plan here, I guess you could remove the Yankee Clipper, but still keep Yankee Harbor. Because unlike California's Great America, they still have both of their flumes.
Yeah,
a weird setup.
It is interesting how they have two different flume rides, themed slightly differently.
Well, one's got a regular drop and one's got a double down. So, my proposal. Okay, I'm going to say let's go ahead and I want to keep the Roaring Rapids. It's going to cost too much to tear that out. And if you want to get totally soaked, since they got rid of their shoot the chutes, that's the ride you're going to go on.
Well, they do their splash battle.
Yeah, they have their splash battle. So I guess if you want to fight somebody, you can do that too. So my proposed plan for this area: keep Roaring Rapids, close the log flume. It's going to be, they both kind of interact with each other, but close one of them. Maybe Yankee Harbor, the one that's closer to the old Raging Cajun spot. And then I want them to build a Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster.
Ooh. I mean, the chains worked with Gerstlauer before.
They have, and they haven't added anything since Daredevil Dive. And I mean, it was well received. It looks like a good ride. It doesn't VR that well.
I was like, you can put VR on it.
But I think it's something they could do. I mean, you could do a small footprint. You could hit some interesting inversions. You could have that stalled upside down loop that a lot of the European ones are getting. And it could be the first Infinity Coaster in the country.
They got that one in
Oh yeah, technically I guess Monster is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, but it could be the first mega Infinity. That's my proposed idea. You can still keep it themed to something Mardi Gras. I don't know. I can't even think of a name right now.
No, I don't really have a good one. But I can see it. I like the idea. It's kind of interesting. While this park has the first Batman the Ride, and they have like a Superman clone, for the most part, they have pretty unique roller coasters, unlike the rest of the chain. They don't have, I feel like...
Yeah, I mean, they really do, because if the first Batman the Ride, they had the very first B&M ever, and the first successful, modern stand-up coaster. They have, I mean, look at Raging Bull. It's the only one of the B&M Hyper Twisters.
The Whizzer, that's the only one left in America, if not the world.
Yeah, because the other Whizzer is in Brazil, I think. They have Goliath, which, I mean, though there are a couple other RMCs, there's nothing really like that one. Just a short, straight to the punch, ride. I mean, they have some pretty unique rides here, and I think that's what also really helps out their appeal and why I think I love it. Plus, I mean, How do you have a Six Flags built in-house wooden roller coaster that is just phenomenal?
Right.
Viper is phenomenal. I don't understand how that was built in-house and they have not done that elsewhere too.
It's super weird because Viper doesn't need a control host. They keep their control booth empty and they just remote dispatch that ride.
Batman does as well.
It's so weird.
They just, as long as both dispatches or like enables are pressed at the same time, they don't need a control person.
It's just so weird.
Okay, so I like the Infinity Coaster idea. I think that would do something for the park.
And they also don't seem that expensive.
No, they really don't. They basically have as big of a footprint as you want it to have.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, looking at Smiler, I think Smiler would be the biggest thing that would turn people away from the Infinity Coasters, but it's been proven that was nothing to do with Grislauer. So I'm hoping that we'll start seeing some more, and because they look really fun, and I don't think I'll ever get to England. So
yeah, they look fun. I don't think we're going to see as giant of a thing as Smiler with
no,
2 lifts, mega inversions.
Not that tight, at least. So that's my prediction, is that we're getting an Infinity Coaster in the old Raging Cajun spot.
Yeah. I like the idea of something a little different.
Could even have little water interactive elements there with the Yankee Harbor water area.
Interesting idea. I would chalk that up as plausible, and it seems like a good idea. So we can definitely add that one up.
2019 Infinity Coaster. Man, we might have to go to 2021 on this one, because we're just flying right through this one.
Now, you're from this area.
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, close
Midwest,
enough.
the Midwest, yeah.
This park would be one of those parks that got they're not getting Christmas.
I don't think so.
I don't think you could possibly do it there.
No, it's a little too cold.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you would really have to play with the, and hope that the winter was going to be mild enough. Like, if they had done it last year, absolutely. They could have done it. I mean, Cedar Point could have done one this past winter because there was nothing bad. But I don't think they could do one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, I was thinking about if Christmas is coming, but I don't think it is. This park actually really has one of the shortest operating seasons for a Six Flags park.
It does. I mean, you really can't. I mean, it's about the same as Cedar Point.
Yeah, and I mean, it's in a much bigger city.
It is. It just shows that the region you're in, the climate. I mean, you're held to what the weather says you could do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the downside to some of these parks in America. So, So you want to move on? Or you have any other additions?
We can move on to the next year.
Okay. 2020.
So,
any ideas?
So they have the big, tall Sky Trek Tower. And they have the giant drop. But I think they could probably benefit from having another giant tower on the horizon of this park.
I can see that.
I'm thinking they're getting the giant 400 plus foot tall Starflyer.
Okay.
No?
No. I really like the idea. I'm looking at the map here to see where I would want it. I think I'm almost thinking of doing call it like a Fear of Heights Action Plaza. So I hate that go-kart track.
Mm-hmm.
It's ugly. I don't like that's there because I mean what we just noticed it before the show, and I believe that's the old Bugs Bunny National Park because you've got their the Little Dipper there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know they had torn out that entire area, and it just to me it's an eyesore. So my proposed idea is to put in that spot, put in the Mega Starflyer.
Mm-hmm.
Put in a slingshot, and if you feel like it, put in a skyscraper, and you can upcharge the other two and call it a Fear of Heights action plaza or whatever.
Like Acrophobia Action Theater.
Yeah,
or
sure.
Acrophobia Action Plaza.
Exactly. You know, like because they have the rights to that name.
Yeah.
To that phobia. So you could actually call it Acrophobia, the Starflyer, and just kind of play off of that and add some other taller rides there.
Well, Acrophobia, is that the fear of falling or the fear of heights?
It's Fear Heights.
Okay, yeah.
So,
in retrospect, that doesn't make sense for the Six Flags Over Georgia name, then, does it?
No. Yeah, it's like 200 feet tall?
Yeah.
I would say it'd make more sense if it was the pain of hanging there on a bicycle seat 200 feet in the air.
Mm-hmm.
That's my idea. That's just to kind of almost do that. Because Six Flags always tends to do like here we're doing reasonable things at some of the parks, but then one park kind of goes off the rocker and adds in like 5 weird things that don't make any sense at all.
And so you're saying that's the off the rocker move?
It's their off the rails kind of. They're gonna go, and for 2020 we're gonna add the world's tallest Starflyer, but that's not all. You know,
also a slingshot.
Launch into the air on blah 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 slingshot, but that's not all. Whip through the air at incredible heights on blah blah blah.
And a frog hopper.
And for the little kids, we've got you covered too with a frog hopper.
You're gonna bounce through the air.
Like it's a thing that I could see Six Flags doing and nobody else doing. So consider it. I mean, because what the Starflyers can't cost that much.
No.
If Valley Fair is getting one, it can't cost that much. And yeah, I think that's my proposed idea. If you like it or not like it, I mean, it's not going to be Reed Anderson anymore.
No.
So,
especially not in 2020.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I think that'll be a good idea, but I think we should go one more year.
Yes. Okay. So let's go. We're gonna go Super Heights Plaza. Okay, so we're going 2021 here.
And I mean, starting probably 2 weeks, we're going to have to do 2021 as all the parks are going to announce their 20.
And that's one reason why, because you had asked, hey, what parks do we want to do, and you gave some suggestions, and I suggested this one here, just because the Six Flags parks are going to be doing their mass announcement video, I would assume.
I think it's September 1st.
Usually is, so it's usually around that area at least. So I figured we might as well get the Six Flags park in, get one more in, especially in a major park like this. Because then we're going to have to go a while, and we're going to be like, and then for 2017, they announced this. We're not there yet, but they announced it, kind of thing. So yeah, let's start getting used to doing 2021.
So Goliath was a very popular addition to this park.
Yeah, it was. It's getting good reviews. I would say the only negative reviews people are giving it is it's a little short, like time-wise.
And Twisted Colossus does not have that problem at Six Flags Magic Mountain.
No, nice long ride. Especially good if you can get a double duel.
Yeah.
heard those are nice.
And your traditional wooden roller coasters, while a lot of fun, tend to start showing some age and getting a little rough.
Especially, wooden roller coasters, I'd say from the resurgence of the theme parks back from like the 70s, maybe like early 80s kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm thinking you're going to see an iron horse appear on one of the wooden roller coasters in this park. And obviously not the good one.
Not the good one. So I think we're safe to say Little Dipper, Iron Horse.
Yeah, right? That'd be the most ridiculous thing ever.
Oh, man.
You laugh. I bet you that appears at IAPA soon, like RMC's version of a kid's wooden roller coaster.
What would they call that? Would that be a Dilophosaur?
Yeah, something like that.
So,
I'm thinking Eagle.
I think so too. And that would definitely make a visual statement from the highway.
Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking full-on Twisted Colossus treatment where you have the crazy duels.
Do you want to do it the same as Twisted Colossus, as in it's one long continuous coaster?
Oh, I don't know, because that's sort of Twisted Colossus's flaw is the fact that I love the really long thing, but I wish there was a better way to make it dual.
I mean, if B&M could do it with, the Dragon Challenge Dueling Dragons,
mm-hmm.
I don't understand why RMC couldn't figure out some sort of programming with their sensors to slow a lift down. Because I know as soon as those trains drop off the lift, it jogs, does it not?
Mm-hmm. It does.
It can do multiple speeds.
But the thing is, it still requires the team to dispatch the train in a semi-efficient manner. Like, your problem with Twisted Colossus sometimes is
you have such a tight window.
You have a tight window, and even though the train jogged all the way up the second lift, and it still didn't get it out on time. And I don't want to park the train on the lift and have it sit there.
No, you can't do that. You'll have people trying to climb out of the train.
Mm-hmm.
The only way they could do it is if they can figure out how to give it a bigger window.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the only way if you want to do it that way versus actually doing a racing dual-tracked RMC.
I mean, I think the racing dual track RMC is probably the way they're going to go.
Yeah,
I like the Twisted Colossus idea, but I think it's proven it has its flaws. And versus this way, on a slow day, they could, which I don't think this park has slow days. They could cut aside.
They typically don't have slow days. I've never been there on a slow day.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I don't think they are. Oh no, I think they've closed aside of American Eagle. It's why most your racing wooden coasters and steel coasters they both run forwards and not one running backwards, because then it's considered a different experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, when you hear anything about Twisted Colossus, you always hear that it's amazing. I mean, there's always that but. If you don't get the duel, it's a letdown.
Mm-hmm.
Still amazing, but it's a letdown.
Yeah.
So
my one ride on it, I double dueled, and I would have said it was not probably as awesome if I didn't get to double duel.
Yeah. So I could see that. I would like to see something kind of crazy in that giant helix.
Mm-hmm.
The giant, super slow, ridiculous helix.
Oh, they could do all kinds of cool, crazy things there.
This would be a big year. Because, I mean, how much did Twisted Colossus cost? Had to have been a pretty penny.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's an RCDB question.
Yeah, let's see.
Twisted Colossus does not have a price tag.
Oh, no.
So we can only assume it was free. Because how many times have you been to a store and you scan something that doesn't have a price and you're like, oh, I guess it's free.
And then, then you're let down when you actually take it to the register and they're like, nope, it's not free. It's going to cost $34.99. And you're like, what? And then you get all sad.
Yeah. So that's probably what Six Flags is going to feel on that one. But I like American Eagle. I think it's a lot of fun, especially after the long helix that like return back to home. It's pretty fun.
The first time I ever rode that ride, I was riding, I think it was Blue Side, and going into that final little helix before coming back into the station, my hand, which was up and out of the train because I was riding hands up style, I received a pine needle that stabbed into the palm of my hand.
Huh.
Yep.
Interesting. That's a weird scenario. I was thinking you hit a support, and I was like, well, you are tall, but who can adjust for pine needles flying out all over the place?
I came back, and I was like, ow. And there was a pine needle sticking just in my hand. It wasn't like very far. It's not like it was like sticking through my hand out the other side. But I actually want to go to 2022 in our predictions here.
Uh-oh. I mean, this is the your favorite Six Flags park.
It is, and this is also shaping up to be a short episode. So, for 2021, let's RMC American Eagle, and then we need to do something a little low key for 2022.
Do you think it'll keep the American Eagle name, or do you think it will not? Well, where's the station on this ride?
The station, it's behind Kidzopolis.
I remember doing a ridiculously long walk.
Because the entrance to the ride is actually right behind their Daredevil dive, which is their
Sky Coaster, right?
The Sky Coaster, yes. It's so you actually kind of like walk along the backside of that platform that it's on, and then it like walks way over top of the car ride, because the whole Kidzopolis, that used to be Wiggles. Actually, the Kidzopolis, that whole circus tent thing, used to be the entrance to the ride. It was the entrance, exit / food court / queue / arcade.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the ride has that much queue left because it doesn't really have that popularity.
I want to say all of under the station is queue.
Okay.
If I remember correctly. I could be wrong. The last time I was there was signs down there that talked about the company that painted it. So yeah, you could, I think something would have to be maybe rerouted, because it is a hike to get back there. It really is. But it's not terrible.
But I think it needs to be, it was so tucked away and hidden, and I think this is going to be one of their best coasters now.
Yeah, very much potentially, yeah.
That I feel like they need to bring it to the forefront.
Yeah. Okay, so 2022. This idea came to me while we were talking about American Eagle. And yes, I don't know if it's going to stay American Eagle. I kind of like the name American Eagle. Just leaving it. And
I just don't want the word new American Eagle. I don't like that.
No. The patriotic American Eagle, I don't know. The Americaner Eagle.
It sort of fits with the X-Flight theme right there.
Yeah, like instead of, you can actually change it to be more of like a like almost like an Air Force style theme. Kind of like what X-Flight has. Okay, so my proposed idea here is Camp Cartoon. It's the little kids area that's right in front of Goliath. I want to Super Friends that.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a trend that's going around. I mean, they did it in Over Georgia. It seems to be getting good reviews in Over Georgia. It's a good way to spruce up their older kids areas. If they still had, National Park, that would be the obvious choice. But I think Camp Cartoon, that would be my place I would want to do it, because Kidzopolis doesn't really make sense because it's not near any of the DC properties. But Camp Cartoon is kind of just down the midway. I mean, it's really not close either, but it's just down the midway from Batman.
I mean, neither is really DC Friends.
No, I guess you're right.
It's about as far away from Superman as this is from Batman.
I don't like the Kidsopolis tent, but that's something for another time, I guess. But Camp Cartoon, you have a little roller coaster back there. You've got area. You've got room for expansion if needed, because they have like that little small amphitheater back there.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of expand to that. You could actually do a kids-friendly little like stunt show, because this was the park that had the stunt show first.
Was it really?
I believe so, because I mean, whenever I ever heard about, because this was the one I want to say it went in with Batman.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense in my mind, and because I want to say that's what, childhood Ryan had thought.
Okay, makes sense.
So
I think it's interesting how much of this park is now expanded outside of the railroad tracks that I feel like surrounded the entire park at one point.
I mean, it's crazy looking at this park just after looking at California's Great America when they were the same park.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny to see how you take the same basically foundation and give it to two different companies and see what they do different with it.
Oh yeah, I like the DC Friends area. I don't even necessarily, although this is going to sound kind of weird. I don't know. Do you think we could go back to that 2021 and redo the kids area around American Eagle, and then American Eagle might get a DC name?
That's possible. It's very, very possible. Huh.
Because like you said, you don't like the Kidsopolis section.
I don't.
So that's obviously the one that needs to be changed.
Because I remember, is Camp Cartoon, is it still Spacely's Sprocket Rocket?
Yes.
Okay. So, okay, I can take your idea. I want to do RMC American Eagle with the DC theme.
I guess it's got to be a DC theme.
Then if it's going to be a DC theme, I want to see it be a racing coaster.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see it a something versus something. That doesn't have to be the name of it, but I want to see a hero versus a villain.
Yes.
And we've already been shown that RMC will crazily paint something.
Mm-hmm.
And one real purple, one real green. So there's no reason why they can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my okay. I like the change we just did.
Yeah, I mean, you were talking about how you don't like it, and I was like, well, I don't really like how that looked either.
It would be such a big expenditure.
That's okay.
Yeah, Six Flags is crazy like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we can leave it then. 2022, you've been spared.
Yeah.
Watch out. We're coming for you in a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen when we get to, when we kind of go through and we get like 2 years from now and we come across like, when we're actually like randomly drawing parks and we draw it and it goes, oh, Six Flags Great America. And it's like a year and a half from now. Does it change? Do we just kind of pull up the old outlines and kind of review and make changes if necessary?
I guess we got to review and move forward that way. I mean, trends in the chain might change.
Trends in the industry change like every minute. I mean, we've got IAP is just around the corner.
Yeah,
there could be 2, 3, 4 huge new concepts that'll, change the market completely.
I mean, 3 years ago, I would have never guessed that every Six Flags park is going to get a Larson Looper.
Exactly. I would have never guessed that anybody would have bought a Larson Looper.
They're like literally the most fucking popular thing ever.
Larson Loopers was that thing you expected to see at, Galveston's Pleasure Pier.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh yeah, it's like a little, a cheap little traveling carnival style ride. You didn't expect a major corporation to buy one for their entire fleet.
And then other parks to join suit. Like Indiana Beach just put one in.
I know, man. They started a trend. Man, Larry's
making some money.
One hell of a salesman.
Yeah.
I mean, because even with all the Larson Loopers, he's still selling the flyers.
Mm-hmm. He's going to retire on Loopers and Flyers.
Absolutely. I mean, he's going to have a house made of them.
I don't know if Larson's selling anything else.
No, he's selling big boxes.
Oh, yeah. The big boxes.
The big boxes.
I don't know what trend that was. The 3 years, the 1 year with the 3 giant boxes.
All right, so let's go ahead and kind of rehash what we decided to do to the park here.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2017, speaking of Larry, he was going to bring Brainiac's Brainwash into the park, and we were going to add that over to the Metropolis Plaza.
Yeah, and that's a Larson Looper.
What if we made this the biggest Larson Looper?
Oh, man, like the world's tallest Larson Looper. Like, what are they now? 70 feet tall?
What if this was 75 feet tall?
No, I'm thinking 100-foot tall Larson Looper.
God damn, you're getting crazy now.
100-foot tall Larson Looper.
So the largest Larson Looper, Brainiac's Brainwash, is going to go right there. It's going to bring in crowds from all over the tri-state area. And then 2018, we're going to add the small addition to the water park with our water coaster. Then, in 2019, so you've had your time to relax and cool off and loop all over the place. We should probably loop you some more. And over in the Raging Cajun section of the park and over the water of the Yankee Harbor? I think that's that one right there.
Yep.
Let's put in a Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster. I think that's the way to go. And then we're going that's when Six Flags is going a little off the rocker, and we're going to get the Super Heights Plaza, which is going to be world's tallest Starflyer. We're going to have a slingshot, and we're going to have a skyscraper. That's, I think, 3 crazy rides. Have put in a package where it's, buy one of the rides for X amount, but buy both of them for less, or buy that and the ripcord across the park for even less. Mm-hmm. Throw in those package deals. And then for 2021, the big year, this is going to be, I think, the big addition for the chain. I don't remember. Did we go to 2021 at any of our other Six Flags parks?
No, I don't think so. And if we did, oh well.
So 2021, this is the year they're going to convert American Eagle. RMC is going to just drive on in, and they're going to change it, make it a dueling Iron Horse racing coaster themed to DC. And we're going to take Kidsopolis there and convert that into a DC Super Friends kids area.
And if I were to guess, I would bet Daredevil Dive will get a DC themed name as well.
Yeah.
And all we'll do is change the sign. I'm
gonna go out there and say it's themed to Cyborg.
All right.
Cyborg or Martian Manhunter.
I have something to add to the 2020 idea that it came to me.
Oh shit.
While I was sitting here while we were reviewing.
What is it?
You ready for this?
Sure.
Six Flags has done some crazy things in the past. I think they're going to add an all-season slingshot and skyscraper pass, where for a certain amount of money, you can ride it each time you come to the park one time.
Okay, yeah. The one time I think is where you'd have to limit it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could do like special, weekends where get 2 rides or bring a friend kind of thing.
Yeah.
I like that. I like it. Get a ride on each of those with the pass.
Mm-hmm.
Save money on that pass with a season pass.
Yeah.
Y'all
And then you
have-
do the trifecta and add the dining.
oh man, do they even have the dining?
Yeah, they have the all-season dining at Six Flags now. Lil Spoon Kenny has it for we bought it for like $20 for all-season dining.
Now that's a steal right there.
Yeah, right?
That's a steal. I like that. So, man, Six Flags, Great America, you are now going to be even more of a destination hotspot.
Yeah, the High Thrills Pass or something.
I could see that, yeah.
I just think that's the problem with all the upcharge attractions is nobody wants to pay for them.
I think the only park I've ever seen that has actually done it right would be Kings Island. Because you'll go by there and they'll be like, until 1 p.m., it's only $5 to ride this. And then at like 1 p.m., it goes up to $10.
Mhm.
Because no one wants to do them right away because everyone wants to run to the roller coasters. So if you want to do a cheap, Super Thrills ride, then you just go right there. So yeah. I like that.
You can also buy the Kings Island Pass earlier in the morning and then book your time for later in the day. And it still costs you
Spoiler
$5.
alert.
Like, throw that out there. Unrelated to the episode, but
Man, you're getting tips and tricks on this podcast now.
yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for listening so much, guys.
This short episode went to almost an hour.
Yeah, I mean, I think we just started pounding right through them because, we kind of understand the Six Flags motif right now. So it's like boom, 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 boom. And then we started playing around with ideas at the end. And that's why we could never do this show solo. We kind of have to have the other person here.
Mm-hmm. I am excited for the idea of American Eagle to get an RMC treatment.
Yeah, I like American Eagle.
See, when they put in Goliath, I was like, oh man, because I think American Eagle is such the ride that needs it. And but they weren't going to have two, but now they will have two.
There's no other park with two, is there?
No.
So this could potentially be the first. I mean, this park has been the first in a lot of roller coaster trends. First invert, first stand up.
Mm-hmm.
So
they were the first park with two B&Ms.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, parks have multiple arrows, so it's not unheard of for parks to invest in the same company a couple different times.
Exactly, and they would be different enough experiences, I think.
Mm-hmm. Goliath is wood, technically.
Technically, yeah. I think they would be able to do something, especially 5 years from now. Something's gonna be in there different, where they'll be able to change it.
Oh man, I can only imagine what RMC is going to do in the next 5 years.
Oh geez. So, yeah, keep sending us that feedback. There's nothing more exciting than when I feel my phone vibrate and I look at it and it says we've got a tweet or something from somebody. That's always a fun thing, saying someone's listening to this dumb show.
Yeah, it's not just the two of us.
It's not.
It's at least the two of us and 5 other people.
Yeah. So, thanks, guys. You can always get a hold of Drew at Drew the Intern on Twitters.
That's my Twitter.
You could always youtube.com/InTheLoop.
In the Loop podcast, I think.
In the Loop podcast. It works. And Untapped, he's Drew the Intern.
Yeah. I just finished up my lap at the Artagon Mall yesterday. Got a couple new beers, which is funny because it's now on Thursday, so I keep getting New Brew Thursday every time.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's a badge.
Yeah, it's awesome, but I like that it's on Thursday, so I get the New Brew Thursday badge every time I go to Artagon now.
If you want to keep track of what I'm doing, I tweet on Twitter at the Park Guides. I don't tweet too much, but I tweet. I guess most of my tweeting, comes out of this channel, but that's not really that much either. So, on YouTube, I have the Theme Park Guides. I don't have a URL because I don't have that many subscribers yet, so they don't let you do that because they're weird. And
so you all need to subscribe to get Ryan a URL.
Yeah, I've got a couple plans in the works to put in some series of videos. So it's just been kind of a crazy summer, busy, and I don't want to go to the parks when it's really busy out. So once it's starting to cool off, I'll put stuff up.
Oh, I know. It goes to the whole, everyone's like, how come you haven't ridden Cobra's Curse yet? As I'm wearing a Cobra's Curse t-shirt.
I mean, it's just so hot down here, and there's so many people, and schools are starting back up, so everything's going to be great here soon.
Yeah, why wait an hour for a ride that 2 weeks from now I will walk on?
Exactly. That's why I haven't ridden Kong yet. I rode Hulk the other day.
What'd you think?
It's Hulk.
Exactly.
I was kind of disappointed by the fact that the speakers are at your knees and not behind you. So during the first half of the ride, I was listening for it. You cannot hear the soundtrack. It just blends into the sound of the ride. But then when you hit the mid-course, it gets pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. The little light show inside the tunnel is nice. You can't hear the roar. But when you're standing outside the ride, you can hear Hulk roar, and it's such a lackluster roar. It's just roar, roar. You know, it's funny, but it feels the same. Pleased with it. The best part about it, I would agree with you, are the lockers. You just walk right up, and a locker pops open for you. It's nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, totally agree.
If you want to see what I'm drinking, I'm on Untappd at Eisentraut. Like the president.
What is the story behind that?
That was okay. You want to hear the true story? Mm-hmm. So back in the day when I was in high school, maybe even middle school, I was playing. I would always go over to my friend's house and we would play EA Sports games on like PlayStation and PlayStation 2. Mm-hmm. I don't remember which. I think it was on PlayStation 2. So I think I would have been in high school, and it was college basketball, and I was making a coach, and I put in like randomize, and the name was Happy Eisentraut, and it was just the dumbest name ever. So I've kind of just stuck with it, and so that's where Eisentraut comes from.
It's fantastic.
I don't know why Eisentraut was a suggested last name for a coach in a dumb basketball game. But that's what it was, and that name kind of stuck with me. I just recently passed 500.
Oh.
So, yeah, nowhere near one of my friends who's at like 1,500. So, if you want to keep track of both of us combined on the same channel, it's going to be Twitter at Park Blueprints, and we both actively tweet and list and get updated when you tweet us. Mm-hmm. And you can also send us emails if you don't want us limit it to 140 characters or less. You can always send us full novels if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
To themeparkblueprints@gmail.com.
That's our email address.
And that's where you send us predictions for Six Flags Great America.
Yeah. So let us know what you think. Let us know where we went on that.
If you think Six Flags is going to go off the rocker even more, I want to know.
Yeah. Or if you think that we went too extreme and we should have gone Larson Looper and then X Coaster or the...
and then dueling Larson Looper. Mm-hmm. So I like having a bold prediction, in every episode.
Your neighbors just giggled.
Yep, they're being loud. So I'll have to maybe try to edit that out.
But no, the giggle has to stay.
Okay, they're enjoying it. They're enjoying the show.
Yeah.
All right.
Apartment living at its finest. Well, let us know. What are we doing next week? Are we pre-planning a park? Are we randomizing? Are we letting somebody pick if a special guest gets to come on?
If we have one of our special guests, yes, multiple, we have some planned shows coming up. If we can get one of those to do that, we still have to finalize some information there. Then we'll do one of those. If not, I'm thinking let's throw in a limited number of parks into the randomizer and pull one out. Maybe like the remainder of the Cedar Fairs, the Six Flags, the Hershey's, like the other bigger chains.
All right.
I kind of want to stick away from the Disneys for right now.
Yeah, I mean, you go to Disney World.
They're so far planned out already. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
All right, sounds good. And we'll see you guys soon.
We still don't have a signing off thing, so send us your ideas. In the meantime, keep riding roller coasters. Bye.
Hey, it's my birthday party at Great America. Now don't be late. Hey, my name is Bugs, and I'm here to say we're gonna celebrate my birthday. At Great America, we'll have a ball. So many rides, we'll ride them all. Make a splash, take a stand. That new coaster's really grand. Great America!